Welcome to Ukrainian Easter Eggs, Pysanky, tips, tricks, and suggestions. Welcome, my name is Nathaniel Ostashewski, and I've been doing Ukrainian Pysanky since I was a small kid. My great aunt, actually my auntie, did it as a sideline hobby, and then actually did it in terms of being able to teach other people in schools and stuff like that. So today what I'm going to show you is a little bit about some of the tips and tricks to making good Ukrainian Pysanky. We're getting close to Easter time. If you one place to get a lot of information is Ukrainian design books available at the Ukrainian bookstore online. You can check out that. There's some links attached into the description in this YouTube video. But really, how do you get bright Ukrainian Pysanky that have this kind of color? Some of these eggs are 15 years old, and for example, this goose egg is probably 15 years old. How do you keep that color? How do you keep that color? And where do you get some ideas for these designs? And what is a traditional design? Same kind of thing. An ostrich egg. This egg probably took me, 150 hours. But you can see it has some really unique kind of designs, part based on designs that I blew up in terms of expanding it to a full egg off of a design that's on a goose egg. So what are some of the tips and tricks to get bright, colorful Ukrainian Pysanky? That's what I'm going to spend a little bit of time showing in the next few minutes. So hopefully you get something out of this video and can share it with other people. Okay, tip number one. The first tip is what it says on here. Vinegar. Vinegar is your first tip. Although you might, in fact, why I point this out is because simply, although you get a little packages of the Ukrainian Easter egg diet, it does say on there add a little bit of 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. But what they don't tell you is really critical before you start any coloring eggs. So after you've first identified what design you're going to have on your egg and you've decided how you're going to break up the egg or divide up your egg, the next thing actually is to actually write on it. And so you write on your white egg and you actually do that. And then the next part of it is you want to take that white egg with whatever lines that you've recorded in white or you've written on in white with the wax eggs or the wax, and you want to put it into a vinegar dip. And the reason why is because in that first process you touch the egg a lot with your fingers and you get a whole bunch of fingernail or fingerprint oil on your egg. If you don't remove that fingerprint oil, your dyes will not stick. So the first tip is vinegar. So after you got this egg done with all the white writing, you dip it into the vinegar dip. You don't leave it too long because vinegar will dissolve an egg completely, the shell, if you leave it long enough. But you leave it till there's maybe a minute and a half. In terms of the vinegar, and it's vinegar, 50% vinegar, 50% water. Some people use pure vinegar, but then you got to be careful. And you watch until there's little bubbles that have formed on the surface of the egg. And after that, you reach in, pull out your egg with a spoon. Never, ever, ever touch it after that with your fingers. So you've got this vinegar bath. You pull your egg out, and you never, from that point on, touch that egg with anything but a spoon or Kleenex. Tip number 2 is you'll notice, what am I using? It is a plastic container. These are from peanut butter. And actually I've collected them over many, many years. They're really good. You can also get them for other kinds of food. That's actually vinegar. It's turned a little bit yellow over time simply by my spoon going in and out. But basically the reason why tip number 2 is use a plastic container is as you put the egg in with your spoon, often if you use a glass container, which is what people used to use in the past, as you put your egg in to smash it. After you've drawn on your egg and got your first design and you've gone through the vinegar bath, you now put it into yellow. And pulling the egg out of yellow, so let's say I pulled it out of my yellow dye, from that point on you never ever, and this is a big tip, never ever touch the egg again with your fingers. Because just like it was at the beginning, your fingerprints will go on there. So from now on, it's always in Kleenex. You make it like nice little pouch, right? And get used to drawing Pysanky with this kind of process, with the egg always being in a Kleenex, simply because, again, you can never touch it it'll affect the next layer of dye. So if I touch this, this egg is yellow, and I touch this and put it into orange, which would be the next color in a traditional egg, the problem would be the orange might not stick where I've put my fingers. Okay, tip number 4, dealing with your wax in your candle. When you do have electric kistkas, then you don't really have to worry about this. But if you're using a candle, I suggest you get a tall dinner candle, because those burn down straight, and it's very easy to be able to control your kistka in the flame. You never want to be just sticking this in here and burning the heck out of it. What you want to actually do, because what will end up causing on that is you'll end up with blots because the device has gotten too hot. You just want to stick the end into the flame, near the middle of the flame, and use that to heat it as a flame. Okay, I hope you got something from this tips, tricks, and suggestions, and join us for another video further on about how to make eggs.